Maverick 100.9, Aggie Land's country alternative. It's Corliss. And you know, it's always a good day for me when I get to make a new gal pal. So I'm on with Sarah Johnson today. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Corliss. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course, I'm very excited to have you because you have released music that has excited me, to put it simply.
Well, I love hearing that. I'm so glad.
It's so funny how this is actually not the first conversation I have had this week about other radio people sending me new artists. It's like all my friends have been reaching out to me, and one of my friends from Houston said, "Have you heard this girl, Sarah Johnson? I think you're going to love her," which I also love that they know me so well and they know what artist to send my way, you know?
Yeah. Well, long live radio. I mean, gosh, it's so amazing that, with one stream, with one, y'all play it and you get to reach your whole area. And so I'm just so excited that radio lives on and people are talking about it and people are sharing my music. And I appreciate radio. I listen to it in my car still. Like, I'm just a radio lover. So this is so exciting for me.
Oh, I'm excited too. So we'll absolutely just start it there with Red Bandana. I already love the title of the song. I already love the song, but tell me where this comes from with you.
Yeah. So I love storytelling songs. I grew up listening to like Dixie Chicks, Bob Dylan. You have songs like Traveling Soldier, or there's a song called Hurricane. And I just love when you can listen to a story in a song and almost like picture it like a movie in your head. So I go to Montana every summer. My grandmother lives there. And I thought that it would be really fun one summer to go ahead and switch my dating app to rural Montana and see what I could find. So my grandmother goes to bed at like 8:30. So I was like, Grandma, I might want to have some plans tonight. So I, switched my Bumble over. Then I met up with a couple guys for drinks and just like, had a great time, almost like dating the Montana single man scene. And so then when I went back to Dallas, I was like, that's such a great song. Like, city Texas girl goes up to the mountains of Montana, meets her dream man. And so kind of inspired by what I was saying, like those storytelling songs, it was like I just started having this like picture in my mind of this rodeo man, the red bandana, that word rhymes with Montana. So I already had my hook. And then we have the song that's here today.
That is amazing. I love that. So did you meet the man of your dreams, or are you still on Bumble?
Oh, we're not still on Bumble, but the man of my dreams is not in the picture. But the red bandana man who like really inspired it, like the one I hit it off with the most, like he and I are still friends. He works on the mountain and I get free ski passes. And like, so we've had some blessings come back from it.
I love that. Well, I'm so excited to, just debut this story. We're not even going to call it a song. We're going to debut this story on Maverick 100.9. You're hearing it here first. Sarah Johnson and Red Bandana. Due to copyright, Brian Broadcasting is not licensed to air this single for you in podcast form, but you can find it on all streaming and downloading platforms. And today's interview continues now. That is Sarah Johnson and Red Bandana on Maverick 100.9. And I am joined by Sarah Johnson. And I'm already having so much fun getting to know you. But we got to swap some fun stories since you are a storyteller when it comes to your music. That's kind of where you have found your niche. I have bandana stories up and down. Like I started wearing bandanas heavily when I chopped all of my hair off at one point.
Love it.
So like I've got them in every color. And even now, since I've kind of gotten my hair out of under control, I wear them constantly. So JR that does our afternoon show here on Maverick, the first time I met him, I was wearing a red bandana and he was such a goof all night. He wouldn't even call me by my name. He called me Stony LaRue all night.
Oh, stop. That's so great.
Like he's such a jerk face and he still picks on me because of my bandanas. But on the flip side,
send him the song,
right? I'm going to send that to him and be like, look, I'm not the only one with this obsession. And then Jared Neiman years and years and years ago came out with a song called Blue Bandana. And but this was before its release. I was seeing him in concert and I go to chat with him and he goes, "Oh my gosh, Corliss, you're not going to believe this. I wrote this song and it is 100% about you. He goes, I didn't know it was about you until I'm just now seeing your face. But when you're at the show today, would you please listen?" And it was called Blue Bandana. And it is about a girl who travels all over the United States to music festivals with nothing but her blue bandana. And I cried. I cried. I was like, oh my God, you like literally wrote a song about me. And it goes to tell you how those storytelling songs, without even knowing someone, you really could be telling someone else's story. Do you have that experience at all?
I do. And not only with the song Red Bandana, but it's also with other songs. Like, you know, you have a breakup song and you think that it's so personal to you when you write, like I have a song called Fire where I saw this guy walking out of a bar alone that had kind of ghosted me. And so the whole premise of the song was like, I saw you leave alone last night. And then I was too. So it's like you have these very specific moments, but then when you end up singing them for other people and that feeling or that moment, it takes them back to their moment or their little trigger or their love story, whatever it is. So I love this storytelling concerts or bars, and they're like, that happened to me, or that made me think of this. So it's almost funny, like the more specific you get, the more universal you get in a funny way too.
It's so bizarre, but that's so true. It is so true.
And like your Blue Band, I mean, just like, that's so cool. I'm thinking I need to like do a collaboration with them where we do like a, you know, blue versus red showdown or something.
Girl, I would die. I would die.
Well, as long as Maverick hosts it, like y'all can be like the sponsors of like the bandana off in College Station.
I'm down. I'm down. I will. Well, it's funny because I'm from Kansas and Jared Neiman's from Kansas. You're from Texas, which is where I reside and will die. So that's a good mixture. Just to put Corliss right in the middle.
I love it. I love it. You're the glue. You're the glue.
I try until you really get to know how nuts I am and discombobulated. But hey, it's a blonde thing.
I'd say you're crushing it.
Right. Tell me a little bit more about you, because I met you, like I said, through another like radio person. Instead of normally radio promoters are like shoving info about people to me, and I already know so much about them before I interview them, but I don't know anything about you. What do you have on the way? What's your plans? What's your dreams? What's we got?
I love this. So I'm a Texas girl. I was born and raised in Dallas, and I feel a little bit like insecure saying this on College Station Radio, but I did go to school in Austin. I won't name the school because I want to be respectful of your demographic. But I stayed in Texas for school. And then I was always entrepreneurial. I actually started a business with my mom where we traveled the country and we did inspirational speaking engagements for women and girls. And then in the last like 3 years, actually like right before COVID, like Corliss, my album, when I was first going to release it, like the party was March 2020. Like that's how crazy the timing was. And so I like decided to go for music, like pursue my dream. I had all my songs ready, and then like world shuts down. So it's been a journey for me, like continuing to persevere, like learn kind of a new landscape of music. Also like sitting on these recordings that I've had for a while and then figuring out what to do with them with this kind of like new landscape, and also my new knowledge of music and kind of more about how the industry works. So I have released one single at a time. I did have an EP out there that I released like in the middle of COVID, actually took it down to like re-release songs one single at a time and just give each one of them like some energy, some like a music video, just a little bit more excitement. So I have done that with 4 songs so far. I have 2 more coming out. And then I'm going in the studio in a couple of weeks to do 3 more songs. So I'm always thinking about like the next step. So basically like bottom line is like new music is coming and I'm very excited about it. But then I also have 4 songs that are on streaming platforms now that you can listen to.
Yeah. And that's Sarah Johnson that I'm chatting with. Please go get that music because that is hard for us to hear. You know, when it comes to independent artists, which is all we play here on Maverick, it's such a struggle because you are investing in yourself. You're starting your own business. There are no labels or anybody backing you on all this. So when you have something horrific like that pandemic come in and kind of stomp on your dreams, you really have to push yourself to still get it out there and still believe in yourself. And B, you need people to listen to it. So, we have to have our supporters. You have to go see Sarah Johnson on the road. You have to follow her social media pages. You got to listen to this new music because, well, darn it, you just weren't handed a red carpet and said, have at it, girl.
I'm trying to hand people red bandanas.
Right.
But that's also why we appreciate as artists, like independent radio stations, like Maverick. It's like, we're all feeling like these like mavericks, literally, who are just looking for people that resonate with music. So like, that's why I so appreciate what y'all are doing. And
I'm so glad you got the name. Oh my God. Like you actually knew the definition of maverick. Okay. I've never had that happen.
Really?
Really?
Oh, well,
you nailed it.
I am like, someone give me a trophy. But yeah, I mean, we're all mavericks together. And especially, I mean, I want to be sensitive about trying to play like the woman card too much, but even just being like women in this industry and like supporting each other and like breaking down some doors, like we all have to be in it together. So as the artist, I really appreciate what y'all are doing, playing music of mine and other people's and doing interviews and getting to know us. So this is just awesome. So thank you for what you're doing.
Actually, I really wanted to pull up the girl card like one more time because you had just mentioned earlier before this music, you said you were a speaker with your mom to women and girls. Can you tell me a little bit more on what you were putting out into the world there? Because now you've got me hooked.
I've piqued your interest. So it was faith-based. And so the whole idea was just finding joy and security and just purpose and not and not giving into pressures of the world and knowing that we can be strong women who are given joy and purpose from God. And then that translates into every area of our life. So that was kind of the message that we put out there. And our company was called our endeavor was called King's Daughters. So just the idea that, if God is a king, then you're his daughters and you can find joy and security in that. So that was the message that we were spreading.
That is beautiful. I am so glad that I asked.
Yeah, no, it's a part of my story that, sometimes you try to figure out how to mix your different like seasons of life, but it's fun when you can talk about both.
Well, you definitely seem like a powerful woman to me. You are so kind, so friendly, so talented, and I have really enjoyed getting to know you, honestly.
Well, I'm so excited to get to know you. And gosh, it sounds like I need to come to College Station soon. I was just in LaGrange. I played in LaGrange, but I'm just, to everyone listening in College Station, I will put this on the next tour map.
There we go. So make sure you are following. This is Sarah Johnson. This is not going to be the last you've heard of her. And I am so glad that I got to experience the first time meeting her because this has been a blast. Thank you, Sarah Johnson, for joining us on Maverick.
Absolutely. Anytime. Thank you, Corliss.